That guys. That's what people say. That's what people say. But for real, oh, didn't mean to go down that way. Trying to do this fade in and fade out and be all cool. I'm back. This is Miss Brezik here with your second TSWIFT lesson that we're going to do. So let me get my screen shared. I feel like I start buzzing with the music and then I forget my whole life. Okay, here we go. Share the screen and let's look at what we were doing last time. So if you remember from yesterday's video, I walked you through the different lenses and how to read poetry from different lenses to gain more comprehension. And so far we've looked at tone and structure and word choice. And today we're going to look at imagery, figurative language, and theme. So we actually modified the document a little bit. Let me show you. You're going to see it this week like this. Remember yesterday how I talked about how you want to look for what's confusing first? We made this confusing column. So you're going to put all of your notes here about what you look up from Google, and then you'll go over and do tone, structure, and word choice. Remember to save tone for the end. It's a little bit trickier, and you'll do notice and some analysis. And then when you do the poem the second day, this is what I'm going to go over with you today is imagery, figurative language, and theme. You don't have to do what you're confused about because you would have already done that. So that's the plan for today. And here's the work we did last time. Remember, we were working on the red wheelbarrow. And so today we're going to do the same thing. Again, we're not going to use this what's confusing because we already did that, but we're going to look at imagery, figurative language, and theme. So on the second set, it's best to save theme all the way till the end so you could use all of the things that you've noticed and use all of your analysis, excuse me, in order to figure out theme. So imagery. Imagery deals with the elements in a poem that spark or reflect the five senses. So it plays to sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. So let's look here and see if we can see things related to any of the five senses. Well, we see a red wheelbarrow, so we have a color, and that would be sight. It says it's glazed with rainwater, and we have white chickens. I know we kind of talked about this last time. We were thinking maybe there's some thing where maybe the author is contrasting the color of red and the white. So I might even extend my analysis on that and think of more things that red and white could symbolize. The color white, you know, like a dove. I'm trying to think of like purity, like very clean or pure. So I don't know if there's anything about that with the white chickens with purity. And then when I say red, you know, red could be the color, you know, it's a lot on Valentine's Day and love. It could also have some analysis. Maybe we can do some analysis be related to something a little more negative in some way, blood. I'm not really sure. Again, with analysis, it's not stated specifically and purposely in the poem. The reader has to look at what they notice from the poem and then kind of break up the pieces and then kind of get a big idea for it. So red, maybe love, blood, I don't know, white, a dove, purity, question marks. We're not really exactly sure. Let's see anything else about imagery. You know, I should have talked about this word glazed. Oops. I don't know what I just said there. I should have talked about glazed a little bit more yesterday for word choice. And actually, I think I'll go put that up here. Did we talk about glazed? I think I remember mentioning like a glazed donut, like there's water all over the wheelbarrow, so glazed. Maybe glazed could be like it leaves it shiny. Or iridescent. It gives it a certain, like, it's not like really a glow, it's just like a gleam. And maybe that could imply to us that, I don't know, the author obviously wanted to make the wheelbarrow stand out. Glazed in rainwater. I don't know. Why did the author say rainwater? Maybe rainwater washes things away. Again, see how I'm putting like question marks by everything, because these are just first ideas about it. Really, the best way to kind of solve poetry is to talk with other people about it. So you're going to be asked to do this work on that Billy Collins poem called Introduction to Poetry this week. And so it might not be a bad idea for you to get some ideas and maybe text or get on FaceTime with a friend and talk through it. So I don't know. Remember when we looked up the chickens and there weren't many white ones? I wonder if like the rainwater like helped clean or purify, or I don't know. I'm just making things up. These are all ideas. Remember, when you're looking at poetry, no idea is a bad idea. You can always go back and throw out ones that you like least and keep the ones that you really think are very good. Okay, so figurative language, let's move on to that. Figurative language is when a word or phrase does not have its normal everyday literal meaning. So examples are metaphor, simile, symbolism, personification. Hyperbole is another one. And I would say hyperbole is the only thing, honestly, was a stretch for me to even see, but one of the other ELA teachers mentioned this line, so much depends upon. And remember that hyperbole is like an exaggeration, or it's showing that something's like very meaningful or very important. So the author chose these words, so much depends upon, very purposefully, that he wanted us to know how important this red wheelbarrow is, and that it has this rainwater, and that all the chickens, all of this stuff, so much depends upon. Well, what could be dependent upon rain? And, you know, if you are someone and you're not like really on FaceTime talking, you know, with a friend, or you don't want to do that, even just me talking this out loud, I just got an idea that we never talked about, but I feel like because I'm speaking aloud about it, that can be helpful too. So if you want to be real cool, go in your room all by yourself, or go in a quiet space and talk to yourself. It's what the intelligent people do. What could be dependent on rain, guys? So we said yesterday a wheelbarrow and chickens are probably on a farm. What else is on a farm? Might be crops. What do crops have to have in order to thrive? Rain and water. So I don't know. Maybe the rain is like the most important thing that's here. I'm not really sure. As far as other figurative language, I'm not really sure I see anything else here, but remember, whenever you look at a poem, you're going to want to think about similes and metaphors and personification and all of that stuff too. So refer back to those poetry notes. Okay, then finally, the theme. You know theme. We've talked about theme already this school year. Theme is the life lesson of a text or a poem. And remember that theme has to apply to your life. So if we said, what is the theme of this poem? A theme would not be that I need to go put chickens in my wheelbarrow. I don't have a wheelbarrow or chickens. I don't live on a farm. That's too personal to me. We have to have a wider idea. Something about this poem has to teach me something about my life. And so I'm actually not going to give you many more details about this, because today we would like for you to consider what the theme is of this poem and tell us what you think. So your assignment for today, you are going to watch the video and then talk about the things I shared, imagery and figurative language, and then according to the video, what do you think is the theme for the red wheelbarrow? You're going to answer that on this slide right here. And then in the next 2 days, you are going to be looking at Introduction to Poetry. I hope you remember this from a few days ago. This is that Billy Collins poem that we started you out with. And you are going to be doing, with the Billy Collins poem, the TSWIFT format. So first, you're going to jot down some confusing things and look them up. And then you're going to look at the structure and the word choice and the tone. And then the second day, you're going to do the poem again, except imagery, figurative language, and theme. And then you're going to give us a little note about what you find most challenging. Again, I'm going on right now, today only. You are only doing today's video, this chart, and telling us about theme. So that is kind of the end of what I had to share with you today. This was much quicker. I'm hoping that we get to come back together and I can do more videos. And until then, make sure you keep jamming out to Taylor Swift, all right? I'm looking forward to seeing you guys soon. I hope quarantine is going well, and know that I can speak for your teachers and myself when I say we miss you so, so much. And we're sending lots of virtual hugs your way, all right? Bye, guys. That's what people say.